In this video, I will unbox the Redmi 9 Prime or the Redmi 9 as known in some countries, and I'll give my initial impressions. The unit I have with me is the 4GB RAM and the 64GB storage variant in matte black color. Before we start with the unboxing, let us have a quick look at the specifications. The processor is the MediaTek Helio G80 processor. It comes with a 5020 mAh battery, and there is a quad camera setup with 13 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel 18.2 degree field of view ultra wide lens, a 5 megapixel macro camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. It also has a 8 megapixel selfie camera, 6.53 inch Full HD Plus display, which is 2340 by 1080 to be exact. There are two storage variants with this phone, the 4GB 64GB and the 4GB 128GB. The memory is expandable up to 512GB with a dedicated memory card slot. The phone is available in 4 colors: matte black, mint green, space blue and sunrise flare. In the box we get the standard stuff. A simple protective case can be transparent or of a dark shade depending on the color you choose to buy. A SIM tray ejector tool, a 10-watt charging brick and a USB Type-C cable. I would have liked if they had included the 18-watt charger in the box itself. Having a Type-C port is good and a welcome addition. In review units sent to top YouTubers, I have noticed that the box contains a small logo which says Made in India. The phone I purchased does not have this logo and is manufactured in China. The phone is not light and you can definitely feel the 198 grams when you take it in your hands. Since the charger provided is a 10-watt charger, it takes some time to get the 5020 mAh battery to 100%. I tried charging with my 20-watt charger which I got with my OnePlus, and it worked. The difference in charging time is yet to be noted, so stay tuned for the full review. Up top there is an IR blaster which can be used as a remote for devices, and there is a noise cancelling microphone for calls. On the left side of the phone we have the SIM tray supporting dual SIM cards and a dedicated memory card supporting up to 512GB cards. On the right side, the power button and the volume control buttons are located. Both these buttons are tactile and has a nice clicky feel to it. The back of the phone is plastic but has a premium look thanks to the groove design, which kind of helps in providing a small amount of grip while holding the phone. The back also houses the camera module along with the fingerprint sensor. I have a feeling that there might be intrusive advertisements. While setting up, there was some offer of receiving 20 rupees if I was opting to install some apps. I didn't do that and I denied many of the user agreements that were not necessary. It is to be noted that FaceMoji feature, which collects data, is coupled with the default keyboard provided. A Google keyboard or Gboard is bundled with the phone too. In the 20 plus hours of using the phone, I have not received any ads. In order to avoid starting the default keyboard, you can skip over adding Google account while setting up your phone, then head over to Settings, Additional Settings, Languages and Input, Manage Keyboards and choose Gboard. I did uninstall many bloatwares from the phone, but unfortunately some apps cannot be uninstalled. Coming to the impressions of the display tends to oversaturate colors, which is something I've noticed in many entry-level phones and something which I do not like personally. On first look and a day of usage, I feel the quality of display is good for this price range. But while scrolling lengthy web pages with lots of images, there is kind of a jittery effect or choppy effect. Not always, but at times. And strangely, I did notice one more thing. When there is adequate brightness on the screen while you're looking at the phone, and when you place the phone down on the desk towards your left or right, many details are not visible. So there could be changes in picture quality with respect to viewing angles, which again has to be checked. Even though the fingerprint scanner is small, it works really well even with sweaty fingers. But the location of scanner is in the camera module, which means one of the cameras will be left with smudge marks. Talking about the camera module, it does have some bump to it, so it's better not to leave it on dusty surfaces. Each of the camera's color reproductions seem to be different. The wide angle and the macro camera capture oversaturated images. This is given the fact that I did not transfer the photos to my PC, I just viewed it on the phone and I felt so. These are my initial impressions of the phone. Subscribe and stay tuned for an in-depth camera review, including the video capabilities and the full review of the phone, which will be out very soon. Thank you for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, hit the like button. So until we meet again, stay safe and have a great time.